Where we attempt to apply logic and reason to religion and politics. I am here almost by myself. I have our Lord and Savior, the man behind the curtain, not a witness behind the scenes. And Christy Santiago is very ill, so she is out tonight. But she is still beautiful and wonderful. So hello, chat. I see that we have Jinzu, we have Dick Dawson, we have Vibrantly Brantley, and Theo Radically. Awesome. Oh, radically. I said radically. You're not that radical. And I also saw Christy in here, so I hope you guys are all still in here. Thanks for your patience while we were getting things ready for the show. So we only have one main topic tonight, and that is beer too woke? I love this story. I'm really hoping, I'll see if I can pull up a few Budweiser, no, I'm sorry, Bud Light protests. These videos are awesome. There's so many funny conservative videos. Kid Rock lines up just a picnic table full of Bud Light and lights it up with an AK-47, if I remember right, if that's the right gun. There's a bunch of good old homeboys just breaking open a pack, throwing them on the ground, kicking them, running over cans with their Chevys. And fun fact, Chevy's also one of the companies who've spent a lot of money on the LGBTQ plus community with support. So I find that hilarious. People are freaking out because of, let me pull up my tab here so I'm not just going by memory. So it's not just a rainbow can, it is a trans person that Bud Light had partnered with for I don't know, I didn't actually watch the commercial, but it's Dylan Mulvaney. And since they partnered with a trans person to help sell their product to the wider LGBTQ plus community, the right wing lost it. Their beer got woke and they got mad. This is not the usual thing that we focus on here at LEAH. And the reason is because as much as we care about social issues, like equality across the board, we focus a lot on policies and economics when we're talking about politics. So Anheuser-Busch being woke only kind of sort of falls around on our radar. But they're a company, it's not the government, right? So, I mean, if a company, to me, if a company wants to be racist or transphobic or whatever, that is their prerogative, if you will. I have problems with companies being anti-gay or anti-trans or racist or showing religious favor here and there. But for the most part, as long as they're not treating their employees unfairly if that's how they want to market, I think that's a freedom that they should more or less be allowed to have to a point. And this falls under that umbrella. If Bud Light wants to be very progressive, hell yeah, go for it. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just one company. Also, Brantley, thanks for pointing out my goat beard. Thanks. Not just says beer makes me more sleepy than woke. Maybe they are doing it wrong. You know, alcohol just makes me sleepy too. That's why I don't drink too much. I just get tired. Maybe it's because I'm old, but I feel like I've always been that way. I get less sick, more tired. But maybe I just need a nap. Christy says, I've never had a beer. I've actually never finished a beer myself. It wasn't woke enough until now. I just don't like beer. I think if we're going to drink anything, it should taste good. Eat anything, it should taste good. I don't want to just like a food bar. Kind of tastes like a rock. I don't want any alcohol that tastes like ditch water. It's a premium ditch water. That said, the reason that I am covering this, as I've gone through more or less reasons why maybe I wouldn't, is that if you go to opensecrets.org, you'll see that in 2021, Anheuser-Busch spent $5,040,000 in lobbying. To whom? Doesn't matter. According to Jared Kushner, not Jared Kushner, I'm sorry, Donald Trump Jr. Wrong Broseph. According to him, Anheuser-Busch spends like 60% of their lobbying money, which goes towards candidates running for office. About 60% of that goes towards Republican candidates, and 40% goes to Democrats. So Donald Trump Jr. got in a lot of hot water the other day for pointing this out and saying, hey, yo, guys, we get their money. That's what really matters. They're still our friends. So this could just be one crazy progressive in a office full of leftists. So we don't need to like boycott the whole historic American company just because of this one trans thing going on. They give us a lot of money, which really just points out the corruption that Donald Trump Jr. is okay with. And a lot of Republicans and MAGA fans, can I say MAGA fans? I say that. They just exploded with rage towards Donald Trump Jr. Because what a lot of MAGA politicians don't understand is that though a lot of Republicans aren't on board for the social policies that more progressive people, anyone left of that far right, maybe for, they're not for a corrupted government. One reason why they voted for Donald Trump is because they wanted to drain the swamp. So when even Donald Trump Jr. Comes out to play and says, hey, look, like, we want their money though, they're not on board. And just to point that out just shows how much or how little Donald Trump Jr. really knows of politics. And hopefully he doesn't get far as his dad dissipates over the years. But right now it doesn't look like he's going to get far because he's really, really, really dumb if you don't understand that even Republicans, most Republicans, voting Republicans, that is, not the ones who are in office, they don't like corruption. So you can't brag about the money you get from a woke organization or a non-woke organization, but especially a woke one. And is this beer company, Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri, are they woke? Because I would argue the opposite. This is something we see time and time again with companies all across the U.S., especially the U.S. Is look, we're all for pride. We're all for the LGBTQ community and equality, bro. Just keep. We'll serve anyone. You know, we won't pay our employees minimum wage if we don't have to, and if we have to, then we'll try to make sure they can't unionize. But we're totally woke, so can you hop on board for that? And you see this with Amazon, you see it with Starbucks, especially Starbucks, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. If you haven't noticed this, I beg of you to try to notice this because it's really out there. Virtue signaling is, as Christy says here, in fact, the virtue signaling just adds more zeros to their bottom line. Yeah, it's disgusting to me. Yeah, exactly. And that's what it is. It's just virtue signaling. If they were really woke, besides just the social justice part of being woke, they would pay their employees more, one, and they wouldn't be spending $5 million and $40,000 in lobbying, because that shows a corrupt system. That is why we can't get anything done like a democracy should in our country, is because of companies like this who virtue signal and screw our democracy. That said, I don't want to read a bunch of Twitter posts, but I do see Matt Walsh is here, so we'll just go ahead and read his, because it'll be fun. I can play off that Matt Walsh's blog on Twitter. The Bud Light executive who came up with the Dylan Mulvaney campaign is now gone from the company. I told you this boycott was working. We got actual results. A victory for team sanity. So what drives me nuts about this, and I did not know that this executive is gone. I'll click on this real quick to see if he actually references who it is, if there is a link. There's a link. Okay, I'll check the link and then I'll tell you what really grinds my gears. A terrible Peter Griffin. I apologize if anyone got the reference. Melissa Heiner Scheid. There's not an N there. Heiner Scheid. Whoa, what a name. All right. Anheuser-Busch InBev has changed marketing leadership for Bud Light, and in the wake of controversy over the brand sending a can to transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney with her face on it. Alyssa Heinerscheid, I think I said that right, I'm almost proud of myself, marketing VP for the brand since June 2022. She did not last long. Has taken a leave of absence. The brewer confirmed, and will be replaced by Todd Allen, who was most recently global marketing VP for Budweiser. Heinerscheid did not immediately respond to attend a request and comment. All right, so leave of absence. Don't know. Here, I can actually share my screen real quick so you guys can see what I am looking at. Here she is, Alyssa Heinerschneid. Scheid. I want to put that end in there, but I shouldn't. And yeah, she really did not last long. June 2022. So I'm going to back it up here though. For Matt Walsh. If you read his little tweet again. The Bud Light executive who came up from or with the Dylan Mulvaney campaign is now gone from the company. I told you this boycott was working. We got actual results for Team Sanity. So now going back to that, what really ticks me off is that this is what he wants to fight about. And this is Matt Walsh, right? If he's not picking on women or the LGBTQ community, then he's not being Matt Walsh for the day. He woke up on the wrong side of the bed, you could say. But he doesn't give a flying fuck about people getting health care. He doesn't give a flying fuck about people being homeless. He actually thinks that we should jail people who are homeless more often than we already do. And he doesn't give a flying fuck about actual kitchen table issues that most politicians at least pretend to care about, which should give you a sign that political commentators such as he should also give a fuck about those things. He's just he's a gem. He's a gem. So I'm gonna check my live chat here. You guys are really chatting. See now, Christy is in the live chat, taking care of all of you, and really exploding. Christy, you should be in the live chat all the time. Berries, Corona reloaded, fun stuff. But yeah, this whole thing is really fun to watch. If you haven't watched some of the protest videos, they really are hilarious. If you want to pass the time and just laugh a little bit, and I will say it for this. I will be divisive on purpose. If you want to watch some conservatards freak out, this is the perfect time to do it. It's honestly hilarious. This is how they protest and what they protest for. It really shows you where conservative values are. That said, I'm out of main topics for the night, but I did want to talk about the Dominion voting versus Fox News lawsuit that was going on, and which has settled right before they went to trial. This is a fantastic story. I really would like to do more deep dive sometime, but I will give you guys the spark notes that I have so far, that I have memorized anyways. So before they went to trial, Fox was like, hey, okay, time out. We cave. We'll settle what you want. So Dominion voting got $787 million for a settlement. And Fox News had to do a public apology on their network. It was lame. Of course it is. It's not great. But they did have to admit fault, which is great. So you can say that Dominion won without having to win. Could it be better? Absolutely. They could have went to trial. They could have gotten full $1.6 billion. That probably never would have happened. But it would have been great to actually see the case go all the way through and Fox News lose. That would have been fantastic and probably would have helped set a lot of good precedent. But that's not what happened. They settled. And the lawyer from the Dominion voting side said that they're not done yet. They have other people that they're going to go after. So I think that is wonderful news because the right wing went too far with this conspiracy theory, saying that you can't trust these voting machines. Not only undermines our democratic system and values, it also hurts the company that um, had a government contract. And whether or not I think uh, that the government, they should have a private company doing this, Dominion or Smartmatic. We could hear the same thing about Smartmatic soon too. Hopefully they win or get a good big settlement. But just in case that we do have this happening, this is obviously slander. This is obviously something that hurts these companies, um, and I think it's more or less a no-brainer that free speech doesn't cover that. It's just lies and it's slander and it hurts the company. And when you hurt a company, right, you hurt people who work there. You hurt employees, and we're very pro-worker. Um, that said, this is not chump change. This is over 50% of Fox News's um, profits for a year. And that's awesome. So hopefully they actually feel a little bit of devastation for more or less losing the suit. Some bad news that comes with that, though, again, if I remember the right numbers, is $213 million of that $787 million can actually be a tax write-off. So, yeah. Don't worry, taxpayers. Fox News is looking out for you. You get to help foot that bill. So that's not as fantastic um, as it could be. Um, so that sucks. But that is part of the ongoing story. I'm sure we're going to learn more as time goes on. I think this is the conclusion to a first chapter of the story. I think Dominion and Smartmatic are both going to go after maybe Newsmax. Smartmatic will go after Fox News. Maybe My Pillow Guy, which I still kind of feel bad about a little bit because he doesn't seem like he's all there. He's got some problems. He's got some history. I think he just needs help with the suit. But I mean, gonna be a dumbass. Sometimes you have to pay the dumbass tax. So there's that too. Um, but I am really excited to see how this story continues. I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know if Dominion or Smartmatic are going to continue what they did during the last election and get the contracts that they had before. I don't know how much this has hurt their company. I know that their company cost was worth a fraction of the amount they just got in the settlement. So that's fantastic for them. I feel like I want to make clear real quick, just so it's said within the story, because we're not in the usual business of sticking up for businesses in this podcast or show or whatever we call it, this YouTube channel. I do care about companies to the extent of, again, I'm pro-worker. You need companies to have workers, right? That said, our economy right now is fucking sucking. The inflation is so high up Um, um, I just listened to and read over a story recently where which bank or market um, someone had called it greedflation. And I think that's a perfect term for what we had talked about a few months ago, where 60% of all inflation right now is just because these companies are like, oh, hey, people are expecting higher prices. So let's just give them higher prices. Hey, look, our profits went up. Greedflation. There you go. It's a great name. Good news, we have a great name for it. Bad news, it is ruining our economy right now. And there's so much that 2 weeks from now I will bring to the table. I'm definitely going to be going over all the child labor laws, like the one that just passed in Iowa, where they're going to let 14-year-olds work for 35 hours during the school year, and so on and so forth. It's absolutely terrible. Um, there are child labor laws just being repealed left and right all over the country, and it's a really big deal. And um, again, I'm not ready to share all that. I want to get into it so bad, but not today. Not today. 2 weeks from now, I'll definitely bring all of that to the table. So please be excited and be ready for that. Um, that's all I think that I have for you guys tonight. So please leave a like, leave a comment, tell us how much you love the show, how much you hate the show, how much you want to be on the show. Thank you all for yeah, short but sweet. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more stories next time when we have double hosts. I'm sorry this was the only main story we had for tonight, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Woke beer, it's funny as fuck. Uh, uh, Greedflation is not super funny, but again, it is a good name. We will talk about it next time. We love you guys. We hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and stay humanist for God's sake.